Hi, Vishakha.
Hi, Rashmi.
How are
How
you?
are you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. I'm good too. So it's nice and bright where you are. You are in New Jersey.
Yes, I am. And this week's weather is awesome. It's really good. Last week was very cold, but
Uh-huh.
we're enjoying what we can in this week. It's really,
Awesome. Awesome. So you moved to New Jersey, for exact, right?
yes, I did.
So where did you move from?
I moved from Atlanta, Georgia.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And now you're in
So
New
from
York. So how
South.
has the move been?
How was the move? Well,
Mm-hmm.
it was interesting because I this decision making for me happened around March, right? The final
Uh-huh.
decision to move to exact, and that was right after COVID hit, right?
Uh-huh.
And I made this decision in the peak of COVID, and as I was trying to communicate this big decision in our lives to our friends and family,
Uh-huh.
I told them, hey, I'm changing jobs, and I'm going to have to relocate. And the first question, of course, that they would ask was, well, where are you going? And they're like,
Uh-huh.
I'm moving to New Jersey. And their faces would be like, what? Because at that time,
Yeah.
New York, New Jersey was looking at so many cases every day,
Yes.
right? It was the
Yes.
peak going on here. And they were like shocked that COVID is happening and you're going right in there, not for a business trip, not for a few days, but permanently. You're going to do
Moving.
this.
Yeah.
So that was,
Yeah, yeah. So from what I know, I think moving has been quite a theme in your life. You were born in Vadodara and then you went to Mumbai and then USA. So tell us a bit about your journey.
yeah, I think I have been living the phrase, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, because uh, I have like, so I'm a Maharashtrian, right?
Yeah,
Born in Thane, right?
yeah.
And but then brought up in Baroda because my family, since 4 generations, have settled in Baroda.
Uh-huh.
So I'm
Wow.
brought up in Baroda. So my schooling happened in Baroda, but then I
Uh-huh.
did my college from Mumbai University. I did my bachelor in pharmacy from Mumbai University. So I was there for a good 4 years. And then I came to United States for my graduate studies for my PhD.
Uh-huh.
And within the United States, I've moved around quite a bit. So I started with southern part of United States, Louisiana, University of Louisiana at Monroe is where I got my PhD
Uh-huh.
from. And then I went up. So after PhD, most of us do a postdoctoral fellowship, right?
Uh-huh.
And for that, I went to University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine. So from
Uh-huh.
south, I went all the way to north. I spent
Uh-huh.
like 5 years there doing my
Uh-huh.
postdoctoral fellowship, and then for my first job as a faculty, I again came south. So
Uh-huh.
I took up a job as assistant professor of pharmacy at PCO School of Pharmacy, which is located near Atlanta, Georgia.
Uh-huh.
And then I was there, I spent 7 years there. And so I went south, north, south. And now
Uh-huh.
again, with this move with Exact, I'm back in
Back
northeast.
north.
So yeah,
Uh-huh.
I've been hopping quite a lot.
And it looks like education has been with you throughout. So academia and those things. So what did you get your PhD in?
So PhD was in pharmacology and toxicology. So it's a specialization within the field of pharmacy. So because I had a background of pharmacy from my bachelor's,
Mm-hmm.
I was really interested in research. In
Uh-huh.
little exposure that I got during my bachelor days into
Mm-hmm.
research when we did our experiments in the lab,
Mm-hmm.
I that kind of really piqued my interest in research.
Mm-hmm.
And when I graduated from my pharmacy school in Mumbai University, there was not a lot of original research that was happening in areas of pharmacy. There was some
Uh-huh.
research, but it was mainly related to pharmaceutics, quality control, not
Mm-hmm.
really finding new therapeutic medicines. the toxicology aspect of it. So that kind of motivated and inspired me to look for opportunities in United States, and that's what brought me to pursue my graduate studies and a PhD in here.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, after years and years of, being in academia, studying and getting your PhD, postdoctorate, then a faculty, you decided to move to a corporate life. That's completely a different world. So how are you? How's it been for you, I suppose?
It's been good so far.
Uh-huh.
I cannot obviously talk about the future. I'll just have to
Mhm,
wait and
mhm,
see how it works out. But
mhm.
I can tell you a little bit about how it happened and why it happened. So
Sure.
I've loved what comes with being in academia, right? So the teaching aspect
Mhm,
of it, the
mhm,
research and scholarship aspect of it. So
mhm,
in my scholarship, I did a lot of research on acute liver failure, the
mhm,
toxicology of it, the drug development of acute liver failure and chronic liver diseases. So
mhm,
liver was kind of my focus of my research. Um,
mhm,
and
mhm,
then I also served on a lot of committees when I was a faculty, and that kind of piqued my interest too. Like, how do
mhm,
academic programs work, right? With Exact,
mhm,
we are in this arena or landscape of allied health, and being a
mhm,
part of a faculty of pharmacy school, I was right in between that. So
mhm,
how does an allied program work? And serving on all these
mhm,
committees, like curriculum committee, assessment committee, gave me an opportunity to learn about what drives these allied health programs, how are things done
mhm,
in there, right? And then parallelly to this, I always kept, during my talks with Aarti, she always kept telling me about Exact and what they're doing and the clinical management tool that they have developed all these years. And it always interested me to talk about it and to know about it. And last 2 years ago, we started talking seriously about me getting involved with Exact. And Aarti was like, why don't you
mhm,
try consulting and see if you
mhm,
like it? And so I was like, yeah, why not? And that's how I got involved in
uh-huh,
Exact. And I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I For the first time I got to see how IT companies work, and what goes into the product development. What's the life cycle of a software, so to speak? And it kind of
right,
interested me.
right.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that actually was, I would say, that got me really seriously interested into this. And then things just played along. And when the opportunity came, when they offered me, do you want to join full time? I'm
Uh-huh.
like, why not? I also believe that, innovation always happens at the edge of two very different areas. That's where great discoveries happen. And
Uh-huh.
from my perspective, as I saw it, was that, hey, I have this knowledge of academia and how it works. And Exact is making products for allied health programs. So I think it's a great marriage of experiences.
Yes.
So I think that
Yes.
was another catalyst in this decision making for me.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So what have been some of your you know, what have you felt as some of the highs of joining the corporate life?
Um, Gratification in terms of
Uh-huh.
results.
Uh-huh.
I would say that that is the number one. So you can
Uh-huh.
actually see a tangible product coming out of your hard work, and
Uh-huh.
I think that has been a big plus point for me, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, uh, and it's not that in academia you don't see that; it happens really slow, and it's not that
Right.
time.
Uh-huh.
So I think I would say that seeing a product being released and the clients using it and being able to say, hey, I actually had a small role to play in this feature or in the design of this. I think that's satisfying. Yeah.
Rewarding. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So how do you so you are largely in charge of Plan.
hmm
How do you see the growth of Plan as a product? Where do you see it going?
So, Plan is a curriculum management product right now, and the most
Uh-huh.
important tool that we have in Plan right now is the tool where it allows you to map your curriculum to
Mm-hmm.
different standards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or your
Mm-hmm.
goals. And the vision that I have for the whole didactic component, right? And that
Mm-hmm.
would
Mm-hmm.
encompass plan, assess, and all the other didactic modules that we are planning to build. So the vision that we
Uh-huh.
have right now is um, to develop a robust platform that will enable
Uh-huh.
the schools to utilize it as a program management tool, right?
Uh-huh.
So if I were to put it in a layman term, every night when the chief academic officer of any allied health program goes to sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be the dean of the program, it could be the director of the program. The top two or three things that are on their mind is how are my weaker students doing? What am I going to do
Uh-huh.
about
Uh-huh.
them?
Uh-huh.
Is
Uh-huh.
my curriculum working well? Are my faculty teaching appropriately? What are going to be the
Uh-huh.
board scores of my graduating students? These are some of the questions that come that keep tormenting or are on a CAO's mind for an allied
Uh-huh.
health program. And our
Uh-huh.
vision with Plan or the whole didactic portfolio is to provide a whole program management tool to the dean and
Uh-huh.
say, hey, we'll take care of your students, we'll take care of
Uh-huh.
the curriculum, we'll take care of their clinical placements. We will even give
Uh-huh.
you tools so that you can track how each of these components is doing in your program. So it's a program management
Right.
tool, right? And Plan is going to play a crucial role for us to reach there because with the mapping tool that we've built, we're going to utilize that tool and build on top of it. So
Uh-huh.
you have your curriculum, but how do you know that the curriculum is working, right? One way to
Right.
know it is to be able to say, hey, look at your student grades. They are doing well
Mm-hmm.
in the courses, they're getting good grades. Well, that's a plus
Mm-hmm.
sign. But then
Uh-huh.
if I be a devil's advocate, I could say that, hey, those are the exams that your program faculty designed, and
Uh-huh.
maybe they're biased exams, right? So
Yeah.
maybe they were easy exams, so the student grades are good. Tell me how can you really say that your curriculum is doing well? Well,
Uh-huh.
the real litmus test is the board scores, right?
Uh-huh.
When your students graduate, are they able to excel on the board licensure examinations?
Uh-huh.
Are they able to find their employment right away after they graduate? Because those are the real questions. If you have a positive data to show in that aspect, then you really know that your curriculum and your program is doing well. So
Right.
those are some of the tools that we are planning to build in the next 6 to 12 months and give those tools to the chief academic officer and say, here, now do your programmatic assessment, and this will enable you to really gauge how your program is doing.
Right. Awesome. I think I feel excited listening about Plan from you because I think, like you said, it's a marriage of both the worlds. So, yeah, super exciting to hear it from you. Great. Awesome. So tell me a bit about, you are doing a new role. You've moved to a new place. The entire, I think your entire your world is new because kids are at home.
They're doing hybrid, so they
Uh-huh.
half the day they are at school, and then the remaining half they're at home. Yeah.
They're at home. Yeah. So how are you managing it all? Everything's new.
Uh, I cannot say I'm managing it well, but trying to. It's a lot of balls that I'm trying to juggle at the same
Uh-huh.
time.
Uh-huh.
But I have a great support system
Hmm.
with family and friends, especially my husband pitches in a lot.
Right.
I don't think it's a one person deal. So
Right.
I don't think I could have done it without his help. Also,
Yes.
my the new friends that I have found here, the
Uh-huh.
extended family that I have right here in New Jersey, I think
Uh-huh.
they all have helped me to uh, kind of make this work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so it's a lot of things because when you move to a new place with two kids, you're
Uh-huh.
pretty much starting from scratch, like figuring out all the small things, right? And that is
Yeah.
in addition to the big change in your profession, in
Mm-hmm.
your setting, in your job setting. So it's a lot. It's a learning curve for me,
Mm-hmm.
even in
Mm-hmm.
terms of my professional life, because for
Mm-hmm.
the first time, I'm getting acquainted to the IT lingo. For the first
Uh-huh.
time, I'm getting to learn the life cycle of a product in an
Uh-huh.
IT setting, right? What goes
Right.
into it, and although it's challenging, I'm also grateful because I'm learning how much work and hard work is going into uh, producing that. So
Right.
I think that's the good part of it.
Right. Right. Awesome. So how are you keeping your kids busy while they're, doing the hybrid program?
Um, so the goal is to exhaust them, right?
Yes. Yes.
So when the time comes, they are exhausted and they're ready to go to bed. So the first
Uh-huh.
half of, as I mentioned, the first half, pretty much first half, 60, seventy
Uh-huh.
percent of the day
Uh-huh.
goes in their structured learning, either
Uh-huh.
at home or they're at school. And then
Uh-huh.
when they're at home, they have classes or
Mm-hmm.
they have playtime with their friends.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then the last 2 hours of the day, it's just family time over dinner and we wrap up. That's usually how our weekday is. And the
Uh-huh.
weekends are a mixture of chores and a little bit of fun and pleasure.
Awesome. So I know that your daughter has a YouTube channel. Is that right?
She doesn't have a YouTube channel yet. She's been
Okay.
asking for it. She does have
Right.
A TikTok
Uh-huh.
account though. But the rules
Uh-huh.
are only videos that do
Uh-huh.
not have her face can be posted.
Okay.
So she
Uh-huh.
has a bunch of videos of her dances,
Uh-huh.
of her artwork. She likes
Nice.
photography. She likes doing nail art and she likes creating slime.
Uh-huh.
So most of her videos are around that, and
Uh-huh.
she is allowed to post videos that do not have her face in there. So
Did you
yeah,
say nail art?
yeah, she loves doing
Yeah.
nail art. Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah.
she likes doing artificial tips and then doing different
Wow.
colors and designs on that, and she's pretty
Uh-huh.
good at it. So I have like a
Yeah.
nail spa right at home.
Oh, you're so lucky. I have two boys, so I don't get that that kind of luxury.
Yes. So Rashmi, next time if you ever visit here, you'll get a free nail spa here if you ever
Look
visit
forward
my
to
house.
it. Yeah. And are your nails done by her? I can see you have some designs on your nail. Is that by her?
It's come off, so I
Oh,
really
it's
don't
come
want to
off.
show it. Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, she did though. She did a Halloween theme for me
Oh,
because we
awesome.
had Halloween last
Right.
Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, she did a Halloween theme for me. But with all the cooking and getting around in the kitchen, it's all gone now. It
Yes,
doesn't
I
stay
know.
long.
It doesn't stay. Yeah. 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 So what are you normally doing for yourself? How do you when you're not working, when you're not with kids, what do you enjoy doing for yourself?
Uh, it almost feels like I'm talking about the past because since I've moved here, I haven't
Right.
had really good quality time to do the stuff
Uh-huh.
in that category. But I'm really hoping
Uh-huh.
that things will change soon
It
once
will.
I get a
Yes.
good hang of it. I like cooking. I like trying out new recipes. So um, I try, and it's also a way for me to rejuvenate and kind of
Yes.
uh, you know, recharge. So
Uh-huh.
that is one thing that I like. I like reading.
Uh-huh.
Nowadays, that actual reading has turned into audiobooks, but I try
Uh-huh.
and always keep two or three different genres of audiobooks in my library, so I can,
Uh-huh.
depending on my mood, I can switch between them. I
Uh-huh.
usually get a little bit of listening done when I try to get my steps in,
Uh-huh.
either during the evening or in the night. Um, and then I like to dance actually.
Oh, nice.
I've learned Bharatnatyam and Kathak. I
Uh-huh.
haven't been doing a lot of that right now, but
Uh-huh.
hopefully in the future, near future, I'll again get back on it. Yeah.
Awesome. Wow. So what kind of cuisine do you like to cook?
Ah, depends on the mood again.
Uh-huh.
I love the traditional Indian recipes that I have,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and because I have had a hybrid cultural experience growing up, right, being a
Right.
Maharashtrian grown up in Gujarat. So
Uh-huh.
just because of that, I have been eating a lot of Gujarati and Maharashtrian food. And then
Yes.
I am married to an individual who is by birth a Telugu. So
Uh-huh.
my in-laws are from Andhra,
Uh-huh.
right? So, but he is brought up in Delhi all his life,
Oh,
right? So
yeah.
he's used to eating a lot of North Indian food
Uh-huh.
along with the traditional South Indian food. So in
Wow.
if you would ever spend a few days with us, you
Uh-huh.
would see a whole range of food, which includes idli, dosa, some of the traditional South Indian recipes, puliharu,
Yes. Uh-huh.
rasam, and then you would see a lot of Gujarati and Maharashtrian food
Uh-huh.
and a lot of North Indian chaat and chole and rajma and that kind of thing.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I think the only cuisine that I might be missing is the traditional eastern part of India
I was
cuisine.
just going to say, yeah, you've got north and south and west covered. It's just, the east that's left. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Awesome. There's a lot there are lots of reasons to visit you, Vishakha. The nail spa is so inviting, and then I'm a big foodie, so food as well.
Yeah,
Awesome.
but you know what? But that's me. But that's not all I cook because my kids,
Hmm.
they easily get bored of Indian cooking. So like,
Hmm. Hmm.
if they have had like two Indian meals in a row, they're like, "What are we having for the next meal? Don't say it's Indian." So then we keep
Yes.
alternating with like pasta or Mexican food or some Thai food once in a while. So yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Great. And you gave us a bit of a write up in Horizon as well. So from that, I know that you like reading about the Vedanta.
Mm-hmm.
I found that super interesting. Can you tell us a bit about, what Vedanta is? I mean, just tell us what Vedanta is for, I suppose, our US colleagues, and then how you got into it, and just your interest in that.
Yeah, so Vedanta is our it's Vedanta means
Hmm.
end of the scriptures, right? Or all the Indian scriptures and the spiritual knowledge that's there in
Hmm.
the Sanatan Dharma, which is
Hmm.
by most people understood as Hinduism, but Hinduism is uh, in a sense, the Sanatan Dharma, right? And
Hmm.
it is, if I had to explain it to someone who's not familiar with it, I would say it's a gold mine of knowledge,
Yeah.
right? Uh,
Hmm.
that uh, you're sitting on it, but you don't know you're sitting on a gold mine. That's how I like to explain it to someone. And the reason being
Hmm.
is that growing up, I never
Hmm.
got an exposure to the knowledge that's in these scriptures, right? But
Okay.
it has everything that you need to live a practical, happy life. So
Hmm. Hmm.
the biggest question that I always stumble upon is why wasn't I introduced to it earlier growing
Hmm.
up,
Hmm.
right? And so it's 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 something that I got introduced to after I came to United States. So
Hmm.
I because I wanted my kids to get to understand and be familiar with our Indian culture and values,
Right.
I enrolled into Chinmaya Mission, which is one of the
Yeah.
organizations that helps in um,
Yeah.
making Vedantic knowledge available
Yes.
to everyone who's interested in it, right? And that's
Uh-huh.
how I got involved with learning about our scriptures. And when I did get to learn about it, I was dumbfounded. It was like I hit a gold mine. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, this makes so much sense and I want more of
Mm-hmm.
it. So
Right.
I got into it. I got into the study groups. I got into the literature of it. And it
Mm-hmm.
just, it's been such a helpful resource to me in my life. Whenever I have
Yeah.
had challenging times, I go back to it, I refer to it, and it just has helped me deal with every difficult situation in my life.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Awesome. Nice. Yeah, I think just yeah, we've been doing so many motivational Mondays, and through that, I think what my biggest takeaway from motivational Mondays is, when you find something that anchors you, um, it becomes so much easier to accept things. And I think what you're saying with Vedanta is exactly that as well. It's just you find reasons to why things are the way they are. And I think people find solace in so many different things. And I think this is a great way to have some answers or some understanding of where you're at and why you're there.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we have this bunch of self-help literature, right? And
Hmm.
we all who we all have our different genres: fiction, non-fiction, self-help, right?
Hmm.
Vedantic text and literature is the biggest self help that you can
Yes.
get
Yes.
in
Yes.
my experience.
Hmm.
And this is something that's not just a part of bookish knowledge, but there are like practical tips
Hmm.
that can help you with your day to day life. And I find it a huge, huge resource
Yeah. Yeah.
for myself.
Yeah, I might just indulge in a few books. There's a Chinmay Mission bookstore near my place, so I might just go and see what it's all about.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, if you want some recommendations, Self Unfoldment is a
Uh-huh.
great book to start with.
Okay.
It's like know yourself, you know. That's the
Uh-huh.
biggest key to life,
Yeah.
know yourself.
Yeah.
And it
Know yourself.
so
Yeah.
beautifully explains and helps you with it. It's a very common understanding that, you know, science and
Mm-hmm.
spirituality don't merge well or mix well. They're actually opposites. And
Okay.
the way Vedanta explains it is that it's not actually the opposite. They go hand in hand,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, Spirituality is a science that
Right.
you cannot perceive with your five senses. So it takes
Mm-hmm.
you beyond that, and it tries to explain it to you in a very rational and scientific way. And that's what appeals to me the most.
Nice. Awesome. I'll definitely check it out. It's very convincing, and I really love reading and learning about spirituality. So it's something that I'll definitely check out. Self unfoldment. I've made a note of that. Yeah. Awesome. I had so much fun chatting with you, Vishakha. It's the first time we've actually interacted, one on one. So it's been super fun. Thank you so much for making time and chatting with us in your morning. Yeah, it's been awesome.
Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you. It was great connecting with you. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So I think I might just be in touch with you about the spirituality aspect of it offline. But awesome. Thanks for joining us, Vishakha. Lovely chatting with you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye. Bye. Bye.